Hey everybody, welcome to Global Muscle Hot News. This is a special Indy Pro preview. I have the luxury of doing this preview with the team over in the UK, all the way from Norway. AJ.
What's up?
Not very far away from wherever this place is. Giles Thomas. And you can't see him, but he is the man behind it all with the plan. Chris Clark, Pumped Media Studios. How is everybody today?
Very good.
Very good.
You guys. It is late over there. It's already going on 8:00 at night. You've had a long day of podcasting.
Fantastic.
But let's get psyched for this.
We got breaking news, Ron.
Breaking news is this?
Nathan Diasha has confirmed he's doing the Toronto Pro and the British Grand Prix
in June.
In June.
So Toronto Pro is the first weekend. So is the British one right after that? A week later?
June the 30th is the British Grand Prix.
Oh, so that's the end of June. So they're about 4 weeks apart. Ooh. Okay, that's good.
Toronto,
I was wondering when Nathan, because Nathan has to qualify for the Olympia.
Yeah.
I was wondering how he was going to do, what he was going to do.
He's been quiet, isn't he? But then we interviewed him today. So yeah.
You guys are good at getting these guys to divulge their secret plans. So yes, today we're going to talk about the Indy Pro. It's happening this weekend in Indianapolis, Indiana, which is somewhere in the Midwest of my country, I believe. It's a big country. It's hard to keep track. Coverage is going to be brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals, of course.
Of course.
I had to sit up and show that. We're going to be having coverage provided. Hector Mendoza is going to be there doing video, still photos. And doing the interviews is the young kid on the rise, Nick Miller of Nick's Strength and Power.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, Nick's helping him out. Cool.
Nick's helping us out. Thank you, Nick. It's going to be so good to have you part of our team, at least for this one time, and hopefully more in the future. He's a very bright, very passionate kid, loves the sport.
He's all cocky now because he's interviewed Arnold, so he's feeling confident now, so it's good. No, it's everything's easy after Arnold, isn't it, really?
I mean, I interviewed Arnold, but it was over the phone, and it was more like me listening to Arnold for about an hour.
Oh, okay.
I think I asked 5 questions in an hour.
Oh, really?
He knew exactly what he wanted to say. I was kind of just there to record it all, basically.
And so, speaking of interviews, Ron, your interview with John De La Rosa was fantastic.
Thank you.
People got to watch that one.
It was fantastic because of John. John was so open, so honest. A lot of guys who have gone through things like that were, I guess divorce is never easy, but he got blindsided. He had no idea anything was quote unquote wrong, and it all happened. All the shit rained down on him like 3 days before he had to leave for the Arnold last year.
Oh no!
And he was committed to doing 4 or 5 shows all the way through to the end of July.
Yeah.
And he did them all like a trooper. I mean, I would have been a wreck.
He got divorced 3 days before. Well,
oh, really?
She told him she wanted divorce 3 days before.
Oh, no.
Arnold.
Poor guy.
So he's prepping in his nice big house, and then he had to move into his parents' basement.
Yeah.
My God.
Oh.
Yep.
Talk about life throwing you a curveball. Yeah. Poor dude.
Jeez.
Okay, well, let's talk contests because this is only the second year of the show. Dave Bowers is the promoter. Second year show last year was won by Steve Kuklo. Mm-hmm. Charles Griffin second place. Mm-hmm. Luke Sando a strong third place. Mm-hmm. He's obviously coming back for some redemption at this show. And the 212 was Charles Dixon, who's also coming back. So let's start with the Open. I mean, obviously Steve Kuklo is coming back. Mm-hmm. He's got to be one of the favorites. He was supposed to do the Arnold Australia, didn't do it. I'm wondering if he was just trying to rest up and recharge so he could come back strong and do this one. AJ, what's your take?
I think this show is open for some three guys to win, but he's definitely in it, and I think it's very smart of him not to do the Arnold Australia because this makes him fresher. And this is in his whole... He loves winning these smaller shows, and he's got to be one of the favorites to win.
Yeah, I would think so. Giles,
defending
Steve Kuklo, defending champion.
Firstly, how can these guys pull out at the last minute from these pro shows like the Arnold Australia? Because when that happened in years past, they would be fined or they'd have to have medical.
Not anymore.
they just pull out.
Yeah,
Giles. Not only that, until fairly recently, they had to at the beginning of every contest season, they had to sign contracts for every show that they were going to do. They couldn't just jump into shows. Now they make up their minds sometimes like 4 or 5 days before the show. I think I'll do the Indy Pro. I think I'll do the Muscle Mayhem.
Especially a show like the Arnold Australia that is, like in years past with the Arnold Australia but when it was the Australian Pro, sometimes you'd get maybe 3 big names and the rest would be made up for natives, like Australians and New Zealand pros. So I think it's a bit weird when they can just decide to sort of pull out just on the week. I find it a little bit weird, and plus, don't they book flights? And anyway, I just find that a bit strange. But yeah, Stu Kuclo defending pro. I think he looked pretty much the same as he did at the Arnold Classic this year when he took 5th place. He took 5th place there last year. He looked as good. I don't know what to say. Really, I think he's going to have some stronger competition this year, because you've got Luke, who came 3rd last year, who is unbelievably improved, and he's going to be looking to go all out and win this one.
Yeah. Now, do you think it hurt Luke at all that he went over and did the Australia?
We'll see.
Yeah,
but still, in the judges, if you get 5th in Australia, they're like, if he kept that 3rd, it's big difference going from 3rd to 5th, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a smaller show, so.
In a smaller show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think the judges look and say, this guy got X place at that show. We got to make sure he doesn't place too badly here. There's this whole conspiracy theory about why Rolly did so well in Australia when he was not looking very good at all compared to what he looks like at his best. So the conspiracy theorists all jumped out and said, he's a top Olympian guy. They can't have him place any lower than 5th. It's going to kill the mystique and the ticket sales for the Olympia, which is it's kind of a ludicrous theory.
I don't think the judges put that much thought into it. I really don't. No, I really don't. I don't.
So
he got spanked at the Arnold Columbus. He got like 5th place there. Lucky to get 5th in my opinion. Is 3rd place at the Arnold Australia show he won the year before that much better? It's not really.
Yeah. But Sando beat Kuclo obviously in Columbus.
Yeah.
Hands down, he just had they're both great in their own right, but Luke's just getting better and better. I mean, Steve's been very good for a long time. I don't see Steve making much in the way of improvements anymore. He's probably pretty close to maxed out, capped out on how good he's going to get.
He is very consistent, Steve. Since the Arnold Classic last year, he kind of took a jump up in his level of conditioning and separation and detail, and I think he's actually maintaining that. The only thing that I didn't like on Steve this year is his midsection doesn't even look as good as it did. It doesn't look as good as it did last year. Like his ab and thigh is a really poor pose because his abs are very, very shallow, and I don't know whether I noticed that last year. I'd have to go back and compare the pictures, but for me. Yeah, I think maybe he didn't even look quite as good as last year.
Yeah, we're all paying so much more attention to the abs now, aren't we? Huh.
Well,
the last Olympia was won on the abs, basically.
Well, I don't know about that.
It was definitely a big factor in that Olympia win of Sean Roden versus Phil Heath. Okay, so we know Luke Sando is going to be up there. He's going to push. If he can look even very close to the way he looked in Columbus, I don't see anybody here beating him.
Yeah.
He's definitely a guy who's going to be pushing for the Olympia title very, very soon, if not this year, next year at the very latest. He's just getting better and better. I can't believe how much better this guy is than just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But he's only 30, 31 years old? 30?
Yeah, he's just 31.
Yeah, but we can't forget Justin Rodriguez, who Justin, we've seen different versions of Justin, but when he's peaked perfectly, he's a tough competitor too.
But has he peaked perfectly yet, though? Have we seen him? It's always if he peaks, or have we seen him peak?
Justin looked really good at the Arnold Classic last year when he took 7th. He really impressed me, but then he faded massively after those shows. So he kind of went backwards, and the thing is, he was doing more and more shows to try and regain ground, but he ended up just getting, his body was kind of rebelling. But I saw some pictures of Justin 8 weeks out, and I didn't even recognize him.
Okay.
He looked that bad.
Oh,
no, he did. No, he did. 8 weeks out, I was like, 8 weeks out? He looks completely off season. I saw some pictures of him at 3 weeks out. Obviously, he looked better, but he's not where I would expect a pro to look at 3 weeks out. So either he's someone that changes very, very fast, or he's really going to miss the mark for this show. I think maybe he's going to do this one and then do another couple in a few weeks afterwards. Maybe he's He's looking to kind of like Tony Freeman used to do that. He used to start off good, but he would get better and better the more he competed. Whereas you get guys like Rolly who kind of get worse.
Was he guest posing in Nepal when you saw him? Sorry, Rolly. That was a cheap shot, Rolly.
Oh,
cheap shot. That's what I got. That's my version of comedy. It's not very good.
Next time, Ron, he's actually going to grab the mic off you and hit you over the head with it.
I've been threatened with worse. Trust me.
Yeah.
But we can't leave out someone who, if he sharpens up significantly,
Akeem Williams.
Williams. Yeah. AJ, I know you're a fan of Akeem Williams.
Biggest man in Arnold Classic, Ohio.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So obviously, but is it enough time, Ron? Is it enough time?
It's been since Ohio. What's it been? A month?
It'll be 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
That's enough.
That's enough.
Well, yeah, I've seen people do, sharpen up incredibly in that span of time. I mean, but will he? We'll find out.
He was 260. Sorry, go on.
So you were at breakfast with him. He wasn't eating pancakes, was he?
He had 4 or 5 omelets.
Okay, but no pancakes?
I think he might have had some pancakes, but that's fine. The day after show, that's fine. 4 weeks.
Okay, fine. I mean, people were a little up in arms about his pancake intake.
So he's got the potential to win this show.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. So we see him, Luke, and Kuklo as the favorites, don't we?
Yeah. Hang on. Going back to Akeem, he was 265 at the Arnold Classic. If he's really prepping hard and he's really because he needs to be about 250. I told him this. I gave him a bit of a hard time, and he in fairness, he took it. He was really. He says, I said, look, please. I said, 265. You need to be between 250 and 255. I was talking to him and his girlfriend, and he really was like, oh, wow, that's good. He said, that's good to hear. He said, it's good to have that kind of feedback. I says, you've readable bicep. I says, you were next to Brandon Curry. You were number 2. Brandon Curry was number 1 in the lineup. I said, you've got the same kind of muscularity. It's that same round, like 3D muscle. I said, plus he needs to come in with less food in him, because I think he's carving up too close to the show, and it's giving him like a bit of distension. Bring the distension in, drop 10 to 15 pounds, and 100% he could win this show, hands down.
Yeah, he was 248 in Toronto last year when he came that close to beating Juan Morel.
Yeah, he needs to be close to that, really.
Yeah, 250 or even a little lighter. It's
yeah.
I don't know if he intentionally tries to come in bigger and heavier, and if he does, that's not a good strategy for him, because he looks so much better when he comes in lighter. He's so much tighter.
Yeah.
There's more detail, because he does have thick skin. When someone's got skin like that, not everyone's blessed with paper thin skin. Yeah. You need to be lighter, tighter, grainy, dry. Yeah. And if he does that, yeah, he'll push Kuklo, he'll push Luke, he'll push Justin. He could beat them all. It's not even a question. He's good.
I'll be honest, though. I've seen some pictures in the lead up, and I don't see that he's getting any harder. I don't know whether he's maybe one of these guys like that just holds a lot of water, and he is actually losing body fat and getting sharper. And maybe when he gets close to the show, he'll do a decent, water manipulation and drop and everything, and maybe he will tighten up beautifully. But from what I've seen in the pictures, I don't really see a huge, significant improvement in his condition, and I think they are up-to-date pictures.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see that. I've never seen it, but I want to see that drawn face on him just once, because that'll mean he's in shape. Because he's got a pretty full face, and that scares me when I'm trying to make these predictions. Will this guy be in shape? I don't know. His face looks like he's not suffering enough. He's not close to death.
Do you know what though? In really top shape. Remember Orville Burke?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Top 6 Olympia guy, 2002, 2001. I think he would be as good as that, if not better.
Orville was really good.
Oh, he was. I don't know if he was better than Orville Burke though.
Well,
he was very good.
Let's see him at 250 shredded and see what we think.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else we got? We got. I know AJ picked this guy as someone who could do well. Blair Moan.
Oh yes. No! I didn't. Hey, don't laugh. No, I said I was looking forward to see him compete, but I'm not sure how good he will do. That we will see. But the guy.
He carries a ton of muscle. He's got pretty decent shape. Structure is not, if his structure and shape were awesome, he would have done better by now, clearly. But hardworking guy, ton of muscle, and I've seen him in pretty good shape a couple times.
But the guy we're interested in is the new guy from Kuwait. What is his name?
Hassan Mustafa.
Hassan Mustafa.
Monster.
Yeah, by way of Egypt.
Wow.
Yeah. Arms, legs, shoulders. Freaky. Do you guys?
Now, have either of you guys seen this guy or heard of him before?
Yeah, I mean, he's on. I've seen him a lot on Instagram in the last year, and he's kind of like pegged as the next kind of Middle Eastern super freak.
Yeah.
The only thing is his midsection is very blocky. Now, I don't know whether when he sucks it down, that'll kind of, like, say, Josh at the Arnold Columbus, sorry. 10 pounds over, he looks a bit blocky. Like when Rowley is 15, 20 pounds too heavy, it kind of goes a bit square in the midsection. But when they come right down in that like last couple of weeks and they really nail it, it seems to come off their waist as well. So if he can get that, he's going to look like a cartoon character. But the thing is, do you remember Mohamed Al Moussaoui? You get 8th in Olympia, the guy who's the New Zealand pro promoter. He's a judge now. He's an official. He really reminds me of his physique.
He's got amazing legs.
That's scary.
I don't see any of these Middle Eastern guys with bad legs. No. They all have enormous legs.
Yeah.
They must have the best leg. Oxygen Gym must have better leg equipment than everywhere else in the world. Some super duper secret leg presses.
I think with him, it's all because he's going to be big, he's going to be freaky, he's going to be ripped. I think it's all going to come down to his structure. If his structure improves it when he, like you said, sucks it down, he's going to surprise. He might be the shock of the show.
There's some names in here. Some of them I know, some I don't. You just mentioned Colombia by accident, but we do have Camilo Andres Diaz Garzon from Colombia. Never heard of him. Okay. Dorian Haywood out of Colorado.
He's good.
I've seen him.
He's good.
He's consistent. Matt Kuba from Illinois. I saw him at Chicago Pro last year. Justin, he did. I believe he was in the top 10. He's an up and comer. Mm-hmm. Justin Blair, Hassan, Eric Ramirez from Rahway, New Jersey, can be good. He was a very decisive North American winner a few years ago. John Sylvie from Kentucky. I've never heard of you, John. I'm sorry. After this, maybe I'll have heard of you, but and then we had Akeem. So we also have a 212 division in this show, which is good because not all the shows now have 212s.
Yeah,
it's getting kind of scary for the 212s in some of these shows.
And the prize money isn't that great either, so it's
a lot of them are switching to open if they can, or maybe classic.
Do you think that's to do with Flex Lewis retiring?
No,
seriously, serious question.
I
think about it.
Yeah, but
I think the division definitely lost some. I don't want to say credibility, but it lost some of its glamour because Flex was the face of the 212. I mean, Jose was another one. Jose's retired now, so losing those two guys, in
1 year in the same season.
It's a bigger blow that they took it away 212 from the Arnold.
Yeah, but why is that?
Have we got any response? Have we gotten any? Have you ever asked? Do we know
why they got rid of the 212?
They said people didn't want to. What was the reason given?
I was the line I heard was that there wasn't a lot of interest from the top 212 guys. They didn't get most of the Olympia competitors, which that's not necessarily true. There was always some really good names in that show, but I think last year when they only had 7 men in the show, I thought that was it. Once I saw that, I was like, this division's in trouble at the Arnold, and sure enough, I don't think it was long before they announced they were dropping.
Just invite more guys, though. Don't invite 10 and then get 7 turn up. Invite 15 or 20 and see who turns up.
And this 212 show here, there's not a lot of big names there at all.
No, I mean, aside from Charles Dixon, the defending champion, I'm trying to look at who could really push him for the win. Milton. And I'm sure that a lot of these guys have very good physiques. I'm not familiar with a lot of them. I was told, Kit Sanderson from MD Latino told me to look out for this Mexican national now living in Texas, Noel Adame.
Okay.
He's supposed to be good. Puerto Rico has Arturo Coto Resto.
Milton.
From Kuwait. So he's got to be good. He's from Kuwait, right?
If you're freak.
At first I thought it was Kamal, and they spelled his name wrong. It's Gamal El Madawi. No relation to Kamal El Gardni, but
no.
That could be good.
Might be a distant cousin.
Another one, Saudi Arabia, Fahad Zaid Khazari.
No heard of him.
Could be good,
And interesting to see Jason Lowe going from classic physique to 212.
Yeah.
That's probably the thing I'm most interested to see because I think he's a really good classic physique competitor. He's not massive, obviously. For 212 guys are like some of them are 5'2" to 5'4". They're shorter, thick brick shit houses, but I think he could pull it off. Like Giles said on the forum today, he was probably the best condition out of the classic lineup. at this Arnold back in Ohio. So,
but this guy's going from classic to 12. It didn't work for Laureus, did it? And Laureus is really, really good. He's like top 5 in the world, isn't he?
But this lineup is not as.
That's a good point.
That being said, I was at the New York Pro when Steve Laureus did the 212.
Yeah.
It looked to me, I think it was only 2 weeks after he had just won his pro debut in Pittsburgh.
Pancakes.
And it looked to me like he had been eating Chinese food and pizza nonstop for 2 weeks.
Try and fill out, yeah. And
condition was just gone. He was,
shame.
The way he looked at the Arnold, Ohio a few weeks ago, I think he would do very well in just about any 212 lineup.
Really?
No,
he's too small.
He's too. Yeah, I agree. He's 5'10" and 205. That's tiny, but he's got a tiny little waist. He's got those crazy peak biceps.
You're not
flaring.
buying it.
No.
No. Okay, Giles says no.
Giles says no.
Well, we don't. We don't always.
Hang on a minute. Fantastic classic. Unbelievable. Perfect.
But it's a little bit a shame that we are experts in bodybuilding media, but we don't know these names.
Well, but these shows are opportunities for guys to make themselves a name. So the next time we see them on the list, we'll be like, "Oh, I know that guy."
Yeah, but they need to promote themselves a little bit better. We need to know them.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
they do. But that being said, if some of these guys we've never heard of.
Never heard of.
If one of these guys, let's say Dixon wins again, which could very well happen. Mm-hmm. If some of these guys that we have never heard of take second or third place, now we're going to know who they are. Yeah. People will start talking about them.
That's my point.
Yeah.
And they can only promote themselves so much. They need other people to share the pictures and make posts about them, and people like us to talk about them, and we will. After this.
Yeah. Have you ever seen guys or girls that make top 3 in pro shows or win pro shows? I mean, their followers, if you can gauge it by followers on things and sort of exposure on things like Instagram, they skyrocket when they win pro shows. So they could be a complete unknown, win a pro show or do the Olympia, and that's it. Boom. You've 20, 30,000, 50,000.
Outside of the UK, a year and a half, 2 years ago, nobody knew who Luke Sando was. Very few people here. But now everybody knows who he is. I mean, the cream rises to the top. The best people will eventually they all will get publicity because that's just, it's always been that way.
Ron, when I was talking to Luke the day after the Arnold, and he woke up the day after the Arnold, and he said, "Giles, I woke up with 40,000 extra followers on my Instagram." So that's just by being on. On the live stream and people looking at it and following it, it's like, oh, well, that's
40,000 in one day. You said,
40,000.
Then he was on Global Muscle Radio,
of course,
and he got 50,000 extra followers.
Well, we wish that was true.
4 million. So
just some other names. We got also Enrico Hoffman from Germany.
Yeah,
I wonder if he's related to David Hoffman, but probably a common name. Kevin Johnson from Kentucky. I know the name. I'm not overly familiar with him. Thomas Lanahan from Kansas. I follow him on Instagram. He's got massive quads, which always catches my attention. Jason Lowe. Milton Martinez from Puerto Rico.
He's very good. He's very good.
Yeah.
Really
Turn
good.
pro as a man. He's one of those, just like Josh Wade is one of the only people who's turned pro as a Masters who's actually done anything competitively as a pro. Most of them just, they'll do one pro show and get smoked. Yeah. But he's done pretty well for himself.
He's good.
Errol Moore from Los Angeles. Here's a guy that we had on the forum today. Someone made a throw. I think you posted up picture, Giles, was Aaron Politis? I don't know how you say his name.
It was prepped by Patrick Tour. He won the New Zealand 212.
Oh,
very, very, very good. Very dense, very hard, very detailed, very balanced. He'll push Charles.
Similar type of physique, just very compact, very dense.
Yeah, he's not missing anything. Not missing anything. He'll be like top 3.
Okay. Dwayne Walker from Florida. Sorry, Dwayne, I don't know who you are yet. And Adam Young from Colorado. I believe I've seen him. He's also consistent. He'll do well, I think.
Yeah.
Now, AJ, I know you wanted to do the preview for bikini, right?
I'm out.
I don't know a ton of these names.
Those names on that bikini list, I haven't heard of one of them. There's no top Olympia Arnold Classic girls in that lineup.
Maybe you should message them.
I think Sonia Lewis, I think I've seen her in a few big shows. I want to say Lorena Spitzer, because I remember the name Spitzer for some reason. And Brianna Turner from North Carolina. I'm familiar with her name. I know I've seen her before. I'm going to make more of an effort to keep up with these bikini girls because when we did the coverage of the Arnold Australia and we put up the judging videos, the call-out videos, I went to YouTube a couple weeks later and looked at the views.
Same as
and
the
men's physique in bikini. Yeah. Believe it or not.
No,
yes.
really?
Yeah.
Giles, I told this on the Global Muscle Show.
Okay.
I said they're this now in today's society. They're this biggest ass bodybuilder when it comes to views.
Okay, that's fair.
So it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, thing is, if we're in the media, I suppose we do need to.
But these names in this bikini class is not familiar names because I've done some research and these names are not popular. Well, they might be popular, but they're not Arnold Classic Mr. Olympia.
Do you know what it is, though? I quite like it when there's like a load of unknowns because then it gives a chance for...
In bikini too?
No, yeah, exactly. No, because it gives a chance for... You might get another Angelica Texera or... See, I do know the names. Or another Ashley. And, because one of these girls will get a qualification to the Olympia. They might go to the Olympia and they might make top 3 at the Olympia. Then all of a sudden they're a superstar and they've debuted at the Indy Pro or they've made their progress, at the Indy Pro.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. So I quite like these shows when there's not big names.
Here's an interesting stat since we're talking bikini.
Okay.
I'm trying to be a little more educated on that division. Angela Teixeira, I believe it's pronounced Teixeira in Portuguese. Mm-hmm. Her first Bikini Olympia was, I think, 2015 or 2016.
Yeah.
Do you know where she placed out of 32 women?
Last place.
Almost. 31. 31st out of 32.
They don't place all that many, do they?
They did. Yeah, usually it just said everybody's 16th, but for whatever reason, they took the time and they actually gave everybody a place.
For whatever reason.
Oh, that's why I don't like judging. I don't like judging because if I was sat down at a judging table and they went, right, Giles, there's 32 girls, you've got 20 minutes to place all of them, that would give me like that. I'd have hot sweats.
I would just be like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, you're 12th, you're 13th. You all look the same. I've gone on record many times. That's the one thing about the division.
It is tough to judge.
I could not judge it. I could not.
Who's your favorite bikini girl, Ron?
Good one. Good question.
You can only name one. Don't say this or that. Just give me one name.
Jeez. I mean, I guess Janet Lyab.
That's what I just said.
What's your job?
What did I just whisper?
What's your favorite?
Oh, Mello. And Latona.
Currently competing, bro.
Oh, well.
Currently competing.
I don't have one.
Come on.
Actually, Coldwasser.
Coldwasser's good, but I like to look before she went super thin.
So you don't have a favorite?
I don't really have a favorite.
I'm going for Lori Chapato's my favorite, obviously. Yeah.
I didn't say that because I knew you were going to say it. And I didn't
Okay.
No.
I should really follow it more.
Who do we got in the Open? Who? What's your prediction, Ron? Let's get a prediction. 1st to 4th in the Open.
Fair enough. Okay, so this means there's going to be 3 guys mad at me.
Well, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Sorry, guys.
I think it all hangs on.
Let's see what Ron says first.
My top. I think we should give top 3.
Okay.
In order.
Okay.
Do I give top 4?
Top 4.
Let's
come on.
Top 4. That's kind of weird. We should do top 5.
Get the boss. Come on.
Do top 5.
Come on, Ron.
Okay, I'm going to go Luke Sando.
Ooh.
Steve Kuklo.
Ooh.
Akim Williams. Justin Rodriguez, assuming he pulls off a miracle.
Yeah.
Now I got to pick someone else, and I don't really. Okay, I will go. Oh shit! I forgot about Hassan Mustafa.
Yes.
I'm going to say 5th for him now, but I'm not really familiar with him. He could be higher than that. But if he's as good as you guys say he is, he's definitely in the top 5. So yeah, that's my top 5. Luke, Kuklo. Who did I say after? Akim, Justin, and Hassan. Giles, top 5.
Luke first. I think Akim will pull it ahead. I think he will. I think he'll drop at least 10, 15 pounds. I think he's going to pull ahead of Kuklo. Kuklo 3rd. Hassan 4th. Justin Rodriguez 5th.
Okay.
AJ? Luke winning.
Okay. It's a landslide, Luke. You won.
Kuklo in 2nd.
Yeah.
Because you said Akim didn't look that much leaner.
I'm just hoping. I'm optimistic that he's pulled ahead.
Akim in 3rd. Mustafa in 4th. And Justin Rodriguez in 5th.
Yeah. And realize, everybody, these predictions are complete mental masturbation.
I think we all realize that, Ron.
Yeah.
It's just...
Their bodies change so dramatically sometimes, for the better, for the worse. I've seen guys look unstoppable, unbeatable 4 days out from a show, And then I'm sitting there in the press pit, and I go, what the fuck happened to this poor bastard? They're flat, they're watery. It's just, oh, my God. It's like somebody stick a pin in them, and they deflated or they puffed up with water. And I've seen the opposite. Like Flex Wheeler was notorious for looking like a water buffalo a week before shows. Then you'd see him at the show, and you're like, holy crap, he did it. He would drop like 25 pounds of water within a few days.
What did Josh say about Rowley 2 days out in our episode 9? He said, I've seen Rowley 2 days out thinking, I've got him beat. And then he comes on stage and he's like 2 days later and he's like, what the hell? So for me, the two I'm most excited to see, apart from Luke, obviously, is how and whether Akim has tightened up enough. Because if he's tightened up enough, he could win it. And I'm also excited to see how this Hassan looks structure-wise, not just by himself, but next to Kuklo, and because he's got the muscle, and and if he looks good structure-wise, he's got the muscle to contend with Luke or any of them.
But is it time for Kuklo to win a show like this now to keep the momentum? What's going on with Kuklo? He was supposed to be a Mr. Olympia guy, wasn't it? To be.
Well, I mean, this, I'm not. It's a good show, but winning this wouldn't really. Winning the Indy Pro for a second time is not going to put him any closer to being talked about as a future Mr. Olympia.
Okay. But it gets him to the Olympia.
We got to be careful with these future Mr. Olympia comments, because I can't even think of how many times I've said that about somebody and they've never even made it to the Olympia, or they've never cracked the top 10 at the Olympia. And then there's guys I never thought were going to take it that far, and some of them became like when Ronnie Coleman first came on the scene. Yeah. I paid no attention to him. Nobody did.
No one did.
It's like there's that guy on the side of the stage who's just like looking lonely, And a few years later, he put on like 50, 60 pounds of muscle and became Mr. Olympia.
So let's talk about people who actually were touted as future Mr. Olympias. Richard Jones got last place at the 2005 Olympia. Chris Cook, I think people said he had a potential.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Hey, I got a Rich Jones story, kind of. I was out. I don't go to clubs very often. Yeah, but I was at the club in Boston I told you that all the bodybuilders used to go to. Mm-hmm. Why was I even there this time? I was there with my wife, but anyway, I ran into Rich Jones's sister.
Okay.
And she was jacked, and she's got to be. I don't want to get her mad at me. She's got to be about 50, I'm guessing.
Oh wow!
But man, she was in phenomenal shape. She had this tight white dress on, and she was very friendly, very nice girl, very nice woman. But that's my Rich Jones story. But yeah, Rich Jones.
That's as good as my Triple H story.
Good transition. I mean,
have I told you that story, AJ?
We used to put like everybody that we put on an MD cover.
Oh, MD was
kiss of death, isn't it?
Trey Brewer was Mr. Olympia, wasn't he?
Evan was the future Mr. Olympia.
Evan was Mr. Olympia. Steve Kuklo was Mr. Olympia. It's not over for Kuklo though. Or Evan,
no.
Evan is not. He's gonna come back, isn't he? Evan Santabani?
Yeah, probably not till next spring.
Okay.
Yeah, he's trying to get it. I think
it's been a while.
He fully tore a quad, and it's taken him a while to get it back to.
Have you seen?
I don't know how Branch put his quad back together in like 6 months and won the Arnold, but
Branch is Superman.
That's not like a regular human being. That's an oddity.
Have you seen how Evan's quad looks?
I have not. I don't think he's really posted too many pictures of his legs. Understandably, but his legs, he always had the issue where his legs would really flatten out. His upper body would stay big and full, but for some reason, because I used to go out routinely, I used to go down to Connecticut and shoot videos of Evan for MD, leading up to the Arnold or the Olympia, and I would always that's another guy. I used to see him like a week or two out from the shows and be like, yeah, Evan's going to kick ass. And then I'd see him up on stage. And I'm like, what happened to Evan? He would just he flattened out so many times. I always wanted to see him up there the way he would look like a week out from a show.
Do you remember the veterans when they used to have, MD, we used to have the little stage bit backstage where we used to have all the tables set up and the photography bit. We used to do all the interviews. I remember 2011, it was my first Arnold Classic. I was there for MD. And I remember I was just stood down and Evan was up on the thing and he'd just come off stage. He got third place. That was the one, Branch won, and then Dennis Wolf was second. And he was up on the thing. So he was literally there. And I just remember, I didn't realize how big he was. Until you see him up close.
Yeah, it's a big
Like,
frame,
I remember just looking at his legs and there was just so much muscle hanging off his legs. He's one of these guys, you've got to see him up close really to really appreciate how
he's got
big he is.
because not all these guys have big frames. Like Phil
Gigantic.
doesn't have a big frame.
Yeah.
He built a lot of muscle on pretty much a normal size bone structure. But Evan was he has got clavicles like 3 feet across.
Huge.
And he built muscle on top of that. So he's just a tall, wide, thick guy. Huge.
He's impressive to see in the flesh.
Yeah.
So will Lionel Blakey ever be Mr. Olympia, guys?
Who?
Lionel Blakey. Can he become
Lionel?
Mr. Olympia, Ron?
Needs to compete. So
I'm not going to make another baguette joke. I think there's been.
Will it ever happen?
he's so good. His potential is just crazy. What does he need to do?
Well, first he got to get into America now.
Yeah.
Now he has that visa problem issue, so...
Has he got his passport sorted?
No.
I spoke to him.
He's in Africa now trying to get his passport. Because there's some problem. There's some problem.
AJ, forget about Lionel. What's going on with you? We need you at the Olympia. No, sore subject. I'm sorry.
Let's not jinx it now. The people are watching. Let's keep that on wrap until we know it.
Okay.
I'll give you. I want to give you the endorsement for a great reporter. We need you.
Call Trump. Call Trump, Ron. So you got somebody who needs to come in.
just one guy. Just one guy.
He's still president this year. We're not going to get a new president at the earliest elected till next year, and then they don't officially take office till February of the following year.
Forget about them then.
So we still got a ways to go. We still got some more Trump ahead of us. I'm not gonna let me not say anything. I get so much shit if I ever say anything bad about him because he obviously does have his supporters here, a lot of them. So I'm neutral. I'm Switzerland.
Switzerland.
All right, guys. Well, I think we've been blathering on enough. So I want to make sure everyone knows.
Yep.
The Indy Pro is this weekend. It's this Saturday.
Yep.
It's in Indianapolis. Coverage is brought to you by High Tech. We're going to have posing videos, judging call-out videos, still photos, interviews performed by Nick Miller of Nick Strength and Power. It's going to be some great coverage, so please come back to the musculardevelopment.com website Saturday afternoon and evening to check it all out. I want to thank you guys.
Episode 13. Episode 13.
What's that?
Episode 13. We've just filmed it today.
And we got play-by-plays too, don't we, Ron?
I'm not sure about that because I don't think there's going to be a webcast.
But isn't Nick Miller there?
Yeah, I don't know if Nick's going to be doing a play-by-play or if he's going to be busy. He's helping us out. He's not there for us per se.
Okay.
He's going to be doing interviews for us, but he's also got his own thing going. He's got a tremendous thing going with Nick Strength and Power. Making his videos, and he does an amazing job. He's got a lot of haters because he's very young and he's very successful. So
he's like Derek Lunsford.
He's got a lot of views, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Got a lot of views. He's got videos with over 1 million views. I don't think he ever does a video that doesn't get at least 100,000. At least.
Crazy.
That's like a terrible video for him. 100,000.
No, he's great at marketing and the media.
Yeah, he's doing well. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to thank you guys, AJ, Giles, Chris Clark, Pumped Media Studios. This has been the Indy Pro preview for MD Global Muscle Hot News. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.